Well, Lewis is what is he now? Five? Do you have five-time champion? So I mean,
Seven, I think, or
se-
Seven,
oh,
seven.
sorry, seven.
seven.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was expecting a fight. Definitely, I did not expect Max to just run away with it. But Max did have a really good season in terms of starting it really well. I think Lewis struggled, especially. I think he struggled in Monaco
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And I think historically, Lewis has struggled in races like that. But he came back. I think the races he needed to dominate, he did, except
Mm-hmm.
for that one where I think Max crashed and then he
Oh
didn't
yeah,
open up his brakes or something like that, and he ended up not finishing as well. I think that would
yeah.
have turned the tide, and that would have given him a chance to actually pull away if he did. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was as Asbergen or something like that.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
um,
one, the Baku one. Yeah,
and
yeah,
that track is tough. I play on that
yeah,
track all the time. I like
Yeah.
it. I enjoy it, but it's a tough track. I'm tired
It,
on the play seat after because you're on a road. You're on a city
yeah.
road, so
yeah.
it's
It's super narrow.
it
It's
is
and there's
that
one
turn,
turn there,
that one
right?
turn that you go, yeah, yeah, you're
It
crazy.
heads straight to the wall. I mean, it's
Exactly. So I've had on the game, I've had how many times where I just crash and I'd have to redo it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a tough track. I can't imagine being in one of those cars trying to get through that turn at that speed.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Gino? What's your thoughts on the last few races? I mean, Lewis, yeah, needed to win at least what top three, and he got first. That's why it was tied entering the final race. But then, did you think that he was actually gonna do it, or were you more confident in Max already winning it? I mean, he did eventually win it through the controversial ending. But in your opinion, as a neutral
No,
fan,
I'm not surprised at all because Lewis Hamilton's a champion. I mean, he's won it 7 times. He's definitely proven himself, and I think, in all honesty, I think he's actually the better driver between the two. I think Max deserved the
mm-hmm.
championship. I think he was. There was that stat that they pulled out. Max has led more laps this season than every single driver
Yeah,
combined. I mean, that
yeah,
says it all, right? He deserved to win it. But overall, the coolness of Lewis, the I guess because he's older than Max, that he manages to stay calm throughout majority of the race, right? His headspace is somewhere that is not common for, I mean, not typical for the other drivers
mm-hmm.
this past couple of seasons, because most of them are young. At least
Mm-hmm.
most of the ones in the fast cars are young. I mean, obviously, Fernando is still there, Seb is still there, Kimi
Mm-hmm.
just retired,
Yeah,
and the older guys are in slower cars, so it was a little bit difficult for them to compete. But the younger guys are the ones who kind of, I guess, I don't want to say frazzle, but they do make mental errors. Lando had a crucial one couple races back, right? And when he didn't
mm-hmm.
want to pit, when he was being told to come in, he didn't. No, I'm not coming. He was throwing a tantrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Max, you see it sometimes. He gets so pissed off, and then he loses himself on the track. Lewis doesn't do that, right? He
Yeah,
doesn't. He just he's so calm, collected, and focused the whole time. So I'm not surprised that Lewis was able to force a do or die game seven, so to speak, or a final
mm-hmm.
race showdown. And at the start of the race, you saw it, right? You saw him
Yeah,
like get away, and you're like, all right, this is it. He's gonna actually pull this off.
mm-hmm.
But Max and the Stewart had different ideas.
It's
Which
true
I want
about
to point this out, by the way. I want to point that out, right? So that yes, it's in the rules that he should have not let those cars pass in the when the safety car came out. It's there.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the rules, it's the steward's call on of what's going to happen with the safety car and whatnot. And so I felt that it was the right move because it would have it brought us there, right? It brought us to the last lap
Mm-hmm.
before we actually knew who the champion was, and I thought it made it more exciting, the way the way it was called, for when Max benefited when the safety car was out.